The December 19, 2024 regular meeting of the Lincoln County Board of Education will come to order. Let us stand for the pledge led by Jim.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our vision statement is the vision of Lincoln County Schools is to empower every student with the knowledge and skills necessary to become college, career, and citizenship ready by providing high quality education and enriching opportunities in every classroom every day. Mission statement: every student, every classroom, every day, college, career, and citizenship ready.
Okay, our quote tonight is a repeat. I love kids. I'm passionate about them, and I love this quote. And if you don't remember any other quote I've read, remember this one. It's by Dr. Phil. You will never stand taller than when you stoop to help a child. Is there a motion to set the agenda? Make a motion. Christine, Tyler, Bo, Gloria,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Christine, yes, and I vote yes. Okay, we'll go to item 3, recognitions. Mr. Bruce Smith.
All right, so we will start with our recognitions, and we're going to kind of switch up the order tonight. So we'll start with the middle school. So Mr. Searcy, you'll come forward.
Thank you. Lincoln County Middle School would like to recognize as our December Student of the Month, Miss Sadie Preston. Sadie demonstrates outstanding leadership by maintaining high expectations for both herself and her peers. She is described by her friends as someone who is always ready to defend her values and beliefs with conviction and has found a way to do so without inviting conflict. Difficult thing for middle schoolers. She has an impeccable academic record and is a proud member of many extracurricular programs and is able to do it all with a big smile that lights up our classrooms, our hallways, and our entire school. Thank you, Ms. Sadie Preston.
You'll go back after you come forward and accept your recognition. We'll go back to the red screen there. Mr. Brad Smith will be taking a picture. Okay?
And for our staff member recognition for December, we would like to recognize Ms. Megan Ralston. Mrs. Ralston's class provides a vibrant, enriching learning experience and a creative outlet for many, many of our students. She recently facilitated a student-directed production of Murder at the Pie Auction. This was not just a student drama performance, but a community event that brought entertainment, laughter, and joy to the parents, teachers, and community members that attended. Thank you, Ms. Ralston.
Thank you, sir. Okay, next we'll go to the high school. That's it.
Good evening. All right, up first, our staff member, we got Mr. Rick Cassidy. Mr. Cassidy oversees the culinary and food services pathway at the high school. He does a fantastic job of providing real-world practical experiences for his students. When you go into his classroom, it's like you're walking into a fully functioning industrial kitchen in a large city. He has a wealth of knowledge that he passes on to students, and he empowers them to showcase their development of their skills. He does an excellent job for us. All right, and to go along with Mr. Cassidy, we've got a few of his students. A quick backstory. We recently had our winter showcase, and Mr. Cassidy, I hope I don't butcher this, but he had like a competition for his students, and he divided them up into teams, and he gave each team a budget, and each team had to take their budget and figure out how to provide like a catered meal for a certain group. Is that right? And then
300, yeah.
Yeah, 800,
300.
300, okay. And so there was a People's Choice Award and a Judge's Choice Award. And so the group members that we're going to recognize here won both of those awards with the entrees and whatnot that they created that night. So first up is Jessie Carter. So she took part in that challenge, and they won both the People's Choice Award and Judge's Choice Awards. Next is Miss Angelique Coyne. I don't believe she's here tonight. Not here tonight, okay. All right. Next, we have got Charlie Gallagher. She wasn't able to be here either. Next is Casey Patchett. I saw Casey. There we go. Last but not least is Nevaeh Sutherland. I don't think I saw Nevaeh come in, so we will make sure they get those. Anytime you see something advertised that it's Chef Cassidy's classes and you get to eat it, you need to go eat it.
Yes, we were very fortunate earlier in the week when Mr. Todd had his presentation about the tech school. The class prepared the meal, so it was excellent. So now we'll go to Stanford Elementary, Ms. Duncan. I think they've had pajama days.
You're welcome. That's right. Sometimes you get the princess, sometimes you get the that's just how we roll. We are recognizing Miss Quinn Harrison. Come on, my sweet girl. Quinn is an all. There you go. Good job. Quinn is an all-around great kid. She is kind to her peers and respectful to her teachers and our staff. She has a bright smile and a great attitude every day at school. She works hard at school, and she has also demonstrated great growth on our most recent iReady assessment. And we are so proud of you, Ms. Queen. That's for you. We are also recognizing Ms. Tracy Ball. She is our cafeteria manager, and she could not be with us tonight, but I still want to share with you these amazing things that she does. Tracy leads our cafeteria team with a positive attitude and is always willing to jump in and do what's needed for our kids. She and her team feed almost 600 students 2 meals a day, as well as a daily snack each afternoon. She works in a fast-paced environment where most everything you touch is heavy and hot, and she keeps things on schedule with a smile, and we appreciate Tracy very much.
Next, we'll go to Houstonville, Mr. Lester.
All right, for our student, Houstonville would like to recognize Ada Grider. Ada has an infectious personality that brings smiles to everyone around her. She takes everything in stride and is supportive of all of her classmates. Ada is a conscientious student who takes her studies very seriously and strives to do her best in everything. Ada is also an excellent speller. She won our school spelling bee and then finished second in the district spelling bee this week, so she's doing a great job. Our staff member is Miss Janie Sanders. Janie is our FRC coordinator, and some of the staff, these are some of the comments that the staff made about Janie. Says Janie is the real deal. She's always willing to step up and help, especially when kids have emergencies, and she does so with genuineness that makes everyone feel at ease. She tries to make every student feel special and goes above and beyond to make sure our students are taken care of. She's an invaluable member of our team.
Next, Joe Smith from Holland Elementary.
This month's Patriot Award recipient from Highland Elementary is Miss Oakland Wilburn. I've had the opportunity to not only see her smiling face every day at school, but also coach her in soccer this past fall. She is a wonderful leader in the classroom and a friend to everyone. She has a positive behavior and willingness to help her peers as well as teachers. Congratulations, Oakland Wilburn. Okay, our staff member that we would like to recognize is Ms. Kimberly Jeffries, our kindergarten teacher. Ms. Jeffries takes the time to help each child with their individual needs. She has shown tremendous patience and compassion for our students. Ms. Jeffries treats the children as if they are her own and makes learning fun. Congratulations.
Mr. Abbott, you'll come up from Crown Orchard Elementary.
If I could, I'd like to postpone our student recognition. I want her to be able to be here as her mom. It's a pretty important thing. And so I will recognize a staff member tonight. The staff member that I'd like to recognize from Crab Orchard is Miss Heather Mullins, first grade teacher. Ms. Mullins has a great deal of experience and expertise, having taught students in Lincoln County for over 24 years. Her students showed the most growth on our recent Math iReady school-wide, and that's a testament to her hard work, dedication, high expectations, and planning. She makes lessons fun and engaging, and the students absolutely love her.
That concludes our, oh no, I'm sorry, we have, forget early childhood. There you go. Sorry about that.
So our student is not able to be here tonight, but we would like to recognize Waylon Osoro as featured as another student. He is a great friend to all and is always willing to lend a helping hand. He always participates in the class and is a model student. Our staff member we would like to recognize is Essie Phillips. Essie's been dedicated to the program for over 20 years and is invested in the families and children of Lincoln County. She is willing to do whatever is needed for the program, including staying after hours until the job is completed. The program is very lucky to have her.
I think that's everyone's out. So you're more than welcome to stay. I know some of the families will excuse themselves, so we'll give you a break.
I'm so glad.
No, that's right. That's
Also, Harry Potter, right? Yeah. Oh my, I wanted to say something. Yeah, I'd say so. You guys didn't understand it. Pictures could not do it justice. Yeah.
And we'll continue with item 4. Any public comments? Okay, let's continue with item 5. Superintendent and staff report. Any questions, comments? Let's go down to item 6. Questions, comments on any of these? Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Make a motion.
Gloria?
Second.
Okay. Vote, Gloria,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Christine.
Yes.
And yes for me. Okay, we'll continue with action items, number 7. 7A, 2023-2024 Auditor's Report, Mr. Joe Montgomery.
Turn this around a little bit. Joe Montgomery with Montgomery and Company. Leanne wanted me to go through every page.
You say this every year.
Well, you're
It's
not
not
arguing
funny.
with me about it. It is funny.
Okay, you
Exactly.
can.
I sent out emails. I'm gonna touch on the highlights at the end. If you all have any questions or anything, I'll stay as long as you want, answer any questions you have. The first 3 pages is the auditor's report, independent auditor's report on financial statements. It's what we call an unmodified opinion, which means it's a clean opinion on your financial statements as presented. Pages 4 through 10, that is management's discussion and analysis. It's a good summary of the finances of the district at the end of the year and what occurred. You can read that and get a good idea if you don't want to read the other 90 pages. Page number 11, the statement of net position is balance sheet for the entire district. In June 30th, 2024, you had total current assets of $18,575,000. That's down $1.6 million. And the reason it's down $1.6 million is you spent construction funds during the year. So that cash went down, it was in the construction fund. Total assets and deferred outflows, $67.3 million. That's down $2 million. Again, the majority of that goes back to the construction fund. Your current liabilities, $3,833,000. That's down about $900,000 from the previous year. Total liabilities and deferred inflows, $47,876,000. That's down $6.3 million. And the majority of that decrease is in the net other post-employment benefits. That went down by $7 million from the previous year. And that's a number that's provided by the state of Kentucky. Not sure what happened, but there was a significant decrease in the OPEB liabilities across the board. No changes in assumptions. So I'm not sure whether somebody miscalculated in a previous year and corrected it this year, but that's the reason for the decrease. Your total net position was $19,495,000. That's a $4.3 million increase over the previous year. So we're going positive, we're going in the right direction. Page number 12, that is your statement of activities. For the year ended June 30th, 2024, you had total expenses of $48.4 million. That's a $3.5 million decrease from the previous year. You had total revenues of $52.7 million. That's a $7.3 million decrease from the previous year. And that decrease had to do with a $6 million decrease in grants. The ESSER money is coming to an end. So we're seeing it across the board everywhere that the grant money has decreased this year as compared to the prior year. And that was expected. Your change in that position was a positive $4,257,000. That's down $3.8 million. But again, we go back to the ESSER money, and that's what's creating the decrease there. But we have a very good, strong, positive number. So I'm very pleased with what that is showing us. Shows strength in the district in the finance area. Page number 13 is your balance sheet for your governmental funds. I'm going to focus on the general fund because that's actually the one you all have control over. Total assets for the general fund, $12.4 million. That's up $555,000 from the previous year. Your total liability is $260,000. That's down $527,000 from the previous year. And your total fund balance was $12,117,000 for the general fund. That's up $1.1 million as compared to the previous year. Again, we're going in the right direction. A good, strong general fund balance there of $12 million. Page 14 shows the differences between the two balance sheets. The majority of that is your cost of capital assets. Net depreciation of $41.2 million and your bonds payable of $17.5 million. And again, in the middle, we have the net pension liability and net OPEB liabilities of $10.5 and $3.7 million. And this is nothing you're paying on. These are liabilities that are provided by the state to have put in your financial statements. Page number 15 Statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balances. Again, focusing on the general fund, total revenues for general fund, $32.6 million. That's down $1.5 million. Total expenditures, $37.7 million. That's down about $1 million from the previous year. And you had a net change in fund balance. It was a positive $1,081,000. That's down about $2 million. And again, we can go back to the ESSER money, as that is drying up. Some of the expenses have shifted back to the general fund, but we still have a good positive number. Anytime I'm seeing over $500,000 positive, that's showing me a good sign for the district. Page number 16 shows the differences between what I call the two profit and losses. Majority of that, again, is your capital assets and depreciation, $694,000. You did issue bonds, $490,000, and you had bond pay downs of $1,735,000. And you had a district, your pension contributions of $1,491,000. Page number 17, statement of the net position for your proprietary funds. You have one that's a food service. Total assets and deferred outflows, $1,738,000. That's down about $419,000 from the previous year. Deferred liabilities and deferred inflows, $2,952,000. That's down $264,000 from the previous year. And the net position is a negative $1,214,000. That's a decrease of $155,000 from the previous year. Now that's a negative, but the reason it's negative is you have a $1,855,000 net pension liability here that you, as the district, does not control. If we put that back, then you'd have about a $500,000 positive, and that's what you all actually, this district actually is doing in food service. Page number 18, statement of revenues and expenses, change in net position for the food service. Total operating expenses, $3,349,000. That's up $236,000 from the previous year. This increase has to do with the inflation rate this past year. I'm seeing it across the board, all 12 districts that I do. Costs for food went up significantly, and that has to do strictly, from what I'm seeing, it's inflation. Your non-operating revenues, $3,161,000. That's down about $200,000. Your federal grants, they're down a little bit. Nothing that concerns me. Your loss was $155,000. Again, inflation is driving that. That should correct itself. The federal government typically will change the reimbursement rate based on that inflation, but they don't do it immediately. It's usually they're behind. So that $155,000 loss is not unusual this year, and it really doesn't concern me as there being problems there. Page number 19, statement of cash flow shows where your money came in and where your money went out. Overall, you had a decrease in cash of $384,000, bringing your ending balance to $999,000 in cash in the food service, which is a good, strong cash position. Behind that are the notes. I'm going to touch on a couple of the notes. If you go to page 31, at the top, this is your long-term liabilities. This is all the long-term liabilities. You can idea of where those stand at the end of the year. At the beginning of the year, the total liabilities, long-term liabilities, $44.3 million. That increased by $490,000, and that's because you issued $500,000 in bonds. Reductions, $10,337,000, and again, I will point out the net pension or net OPEB liability went down by $5.9 million this year, and your ending balance was $34,503,000 with what's due in 1 year. That's kind of what I'm pointing out. Your cash outflow to service these liabilities is $2,119,000 in the current year. The next page I'd like to point out is page number 51. I would like to point this out. It's note Q. It's the last note. This is what we call on behalf payments of the state of Kentucky. makes payments for expenses for this district, for all the districts. And for this district, the state of Kentucky made payments of $7,894,000. Page 51. So, but the state of Kentucky made payments for this district for expenses of $7.8 million. Majority of that, $3,128,000, was for payments into the teacher retirement system. But the other one, even higher than that, was the health insurance, $4,989,000 paying for insurance at this district. So that's where we come out. Go to page number, it's a two-pager, page number 75. This is what we call the SEPA, Schedule of Expenditures of Federal Awards. This shows the federal awards that federal money that this district expended in the current fiscal year. For the year ended June 30, 2024, the district expended $14,396,000 of federal money. Of that, the ESSER money was $2.9 million. That's a significant portion of it. And the other portion is your IDEA was $1,750,000. That's Individual Disabilities Act, Education Act, and then Title I was $2,168,000. So you got $2.9 million of ESSER money that's actually going to disappear this year. Behind that, we go to page number 77. That's a summary of findings and question costs. During our testing, we test compliance over federal awards. We test controls over your financial statements. We test controls over your federal awards. Have we found any issues or any deficiencies or material weaknesses in controls or funds that were misspent? We would note it here in this summary. This is telling the government, federal and state, that we had no issues, found no issues related to those, and that you qualified as a low-risk auditee. Page number 79 and 80. It's our independent auditor's report over internal control over the financial statements and compliance. Again, we have an unmodified opinion. We did not find any significant deficiencies or material weaknesses in the controls over these, so this is an unmodified opinion, letting the government, the federal and state government, know that there were no issues. Page number 81 through 83. That's our independent auditor's report over compliance for your major federal programs. Again, we have an unmodified opinion. When we tested your federal program, we did not find any misspent money or question costs. The controls over your federal awards did not have any significant deficiencies or material weaknesses that we needed to report to the government, federal government, and state government. Page number 84 is the management letter. And kudos to your departments, your district. We did not find any small items that would need to be reported here, so we're letting everybody know that there were none. And then page 85 through 87. Auditing standards require that we communicate to you, the board, those charged with governance, in writing with how the audit went. Did we have any issues being completed, scheduled? Do we have any issues over auditing procedures or accounting procedures, etc.? We will be letting you know in this letter. This letter is actually letting you know we had no issues and that it was a good, smooth audit. Your finance department an A+. They do an excellent job and they work very, very well with us on that, and they're very experienced and know what they're doing. So I'd like to say something really bad here. Any questions, comments, complaints, or listen to anything other than country music?
We just like to see all those none.
The nuns, you like the nuns?
Yeah.
Recommendations.
Yeah, I mean, your team, even at the schools, they've done a good job of whatever we've found in the past, that needed a little bit of cleaning up. They've done a good job of being conscientious about doing that. So sometimes we have repeat after repeat after repeat after repeat, and they just don't care. Your guys actually take the suggestions and go with it.
We cheated. We went to the back of the report and that was the first thing we looked at.
That's fair, that you're not the only one who do that.
Thank you, Mr. Montgomery,
Thank you.
very much. Thank you. Leanne.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go to 7B, salt spreader bids. Leanne Smith.
Let me out. All right, so, as we discussed last week, the salt spreader bids were opened on December the 2nd, and the highest bid was for $300. It was from Norman Calfee. So I'm just asking you all to approve awarding the bid for the salt spreader to Norman Calfee for $300.
Okay, is there a motion to award the bid of $300 for the salt spreader to Norman Calvin?
I'll make a motion.
Tyler, Jen, vote, Gloria,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Christine. Yes. And I vote yes. Okay, Leanne will continue with 7C, fidelity bond.
The fidelity bond requirement is summarized in KRS 160.560, and it requires an official bond to be approved by the local Board of Education and the Kentucky Commissioner of Education. So I'm just asking the board to approve $1 million bond for myself for the 2025 year.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the 2025 fidelity bond in the amount of $1 million for Leanne Smith?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, so I think Jen was first and then Gloria. Vote, Gloria,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Christine, and yes for me. Okay, Leanne will continue with 7D, Lincoln County Middle School and Lincoln County High School yearbook vendor.
I'm just asking you all to approve extending our contract with Life Touch for middle school and high school yearbook vendor for the 25-26 school year.
Okay, is there a motion to approve Life Touch as the yearbook vendor for Lincoln County Middle and Lincoln County High Schools? Okay, Christine,
I'll say.
okay, Tyler, vote, Gloria,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Christine. Yes. And I vote yes. Thank you, Ms. Leanne. Okay, we'll continue with 7E, extra duty stipend positions at Lincoln County Middle School, Mr. Bill Searcy.
So we talked about this at the working meeting and nothing has really changed there. LCMS is requesting an increase to our extra duty stipend positions of $3,500. Specifically, we will use that money for 3 positions at this time. One is for an assistant coach for our academic team. The other is for a team leader for our special ed department. And the third one is for a club sponsor for our beta club.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the 3 extra duty positions and stipend amounts as listed for Lincoln County Middle School?
Make a motion.
Okay, Gloria, Jen, vote, Gloria,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Christine. Yes. And yes for me. Thank you. Okay, we'll continue. Okay, just a moment.
You're done.
There's
For a
question
second.
here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Question.
Thing, make a motion. Yeah, I think she has a question on the motion. Who made the motion?
Gloria made.
Gloria makes a motion.
Okay. And Jen.
So,
No, what do you, okay, so that's what you. Okay,
that's
okay.
Gloria.
I'm Lauren, thank you, sorry.
Okay, seven,
Sorry.
I'm sorry, thank you.
7F, revised 2024-2025 school calendar, Mr. Anthony Beal.
As I said previously, on November the 11th, there was a water main break. We had to cancel school, therefore I'm requesting that we approve the revised calendar as attached. November the 11th would become a non-instructional day. May the 23rd would become a school day. Closing day would move to May the 27th because of Memorial Day, and our required makeup day would be moved to May the 28th.
And we have 8 NIE days left.
Yeah.
And, yeah,
We do.
we have 8, needs to. I'm thinking about something else. Anything for Anthony? Okay, is there a motion to approve the revised 2024-2025 school calendar?
Go ahead.
Okay, Christine,
I'll second.
Tyler, vote, Gloria,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Christine,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Okay, Anthony, we'll go on with 7G, 2026-2027 calendar committee.
KRS 158070 requires that the school board appoint a district calendar committee each school year. And I'm requesting that the following committee be approved and the school board member be appointed. The committee members would be Principal Andrea Goldsmith, District Administrator Diana Hart, parents of students Gerald Sims and Philip Wilmoth, elementary teacher Haley Stevens, middle and high school teacher Missy Jones, classified employees Angela Peck and Felicia Wilcher, community members Mary Friend and Justin Pointer.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the 2025-2026 calendar committee and appoint Jen Broadbent to serve?
Make a motion.
Tyler? A second. Okay, Christine, vote, Gloria,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Christine,
Yes.
and yes for me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, 7H, surplus furniture. Okay. Andrea Goldsmith.
Howland Elementary is seeking approval to surplus outdated furniture that is currently housed in our outdoor storage buildings. We recently purchased new student furniture and we're getting the storage space to move what's in the building out.
How many new desks did you guys get?
56
56.
and 155 chairs.
Is that like a couple classrooms?
Yeah, all of our classrooms had desks with the exception of K1. But our 5th grade class, they were using tables and our custodian actually ended up welding the legs on them. So they needed to be replaced. And then our 3rd grade classroom had some really outdated desks. So we updated those 2 classrooms.
Sounds great. Okay, is there a motion to declare the unused, broken, and outdated furniture at Highland Elementary as surplus to be disposed of or donated? Jen, Tyler, maybe. Some are speaking and some are raising their hand. So, vote, Gloria,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Christine.
Yes.
And yes for me. Thank you. Then we'll continue with 7I, Lincoln County High School Club Trip, Diana Lane.
Yes, as we mentioned last week, Dr. Anglin and myself at the Lincoln County High School Baby Club, we would like to offer a travel abroad trip to our high school students in the summer of 2026. And we're just requesting that the board allow EF Tours to speak with families about this possible trip to start fundraising and set a date.
How quickly will you start talking to?
In the
students
next,
about
after
this?
Christmas break.
Right after Christmas break?
Yes.
Right. Okay. I'll give them plenty of time to get the money. Okay. All right, is there a motion to allow the educational educational tours to meet with Lincoln County High School parents and students to discuss a travel abroad opportunity. Make a motion. Okay. I think it was Christine and then Jen. Vote Gloria,
Yes.
Jen.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Christine. Yes. And I vote yes. Okay, thank you. Okay, 7J, temperature monitoring system, Kathy H.
As we said last Thursday, this is just to approve the purchase of a monitoring system for our 5 schools that do not have one for our freezers and coolers. And food services paying for it.
We've got 2 schools already.
There's 3 schools that are already covered. That's Houstonville, Waynesburg, and Crab Orchard. Thank you. They have geothermal heating in there.
Yeah.
So they're already covered. And these other schools, we have them full of food, so we want to get a monitoring system in there.
Absolutely. Okay, is there a motion to approve the purchase of the SonicView system and ongoing monitoring for 5 schools? I make a motion. Christine.
I'll second it.
And Tyler. Vote Gloria,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Christine. Yes. And I vote yes. Okay, Kathy, we go on, please, with 7K, revised policy 09.2, student welfare and wellness.
Yes, this is, we talked last week about it. We are just adding a few more things to the wellness policy. That's to put more farm to school, purchasing more vegetables, fruit and meat, and then more signages in our schools. And one of them was recess not to be taken away from students for discipline action.
Yeah, I do. I have a question there. So are there still options for principals if, you know, if a student were going to lose recess that they can go? Is that, I know some schools like they walk, like they don't actually get recess, but they can still exercise.
Right, and Mr. Wheeler sit with us, and he's not here tonight, is he? No, he's not. So hopefully, we're hoping that none of them, that none of the principals do this, the elementary principals do it. And so that he approved for this to be put on there. This is really a state recommendation.
So none of them do that?
I don't think they do, but he just thought we needed to add it. I said, this is a state recommendation. And I said, do you think we should put it in? And he said, you can go on. He thought it was okay to add it too, just to kind of put that verbiage in there.
So when they go out to recess, I mean, all children have free recess. I mean, they do.
I think if they have a
They can
discipline action,
choose.
they walk the track.
Okay, it's,
Yes.
so they can still do that with this, okay. Okay, I need a motion for the second reading and approval of board policy 09.2, student welfare and wellness. I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Christine and Jen. Vote Gloria.
Yes.
Jen.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Christine. Yes. And yes for me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Okay, we'll continue with 7L, revised EC calendars. Kim Carrier.
We are looking to revise in their calendars for the no school day for November 11th. We're adding those days on at the end, like we discussed at the last meeting. So for our Head Start preschool, we would add student day to May 19th and closing day would be May 27th. And our early Head Start students, school would be in session for students on May 29th and closing day June 2nd. So, any questions?
Okay, is there a motion to approve the revised early childhood and Head Start / preschool calendars?
I'll make a motion.
Tyler,
I'll second.
Jen, vote Gloria.
Yes.
Jen.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Christine. Yes. And I vote yes. Okay, thank you, Kim. Okay, 7M, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, Mr. Bruce Smith.
Yes, we've had some things come up, and so I'm asking the board, and just kind of coming up with some ideas, and we can look at the name of this committee. I've just kind of thought of some things that we need to consider when the committee starts their work, and those 3 are some of the areas. So if that committee, once we get it formed, we can look at changing that. So I'm asking the chair to appoint a board member, and we already have some other folks identified in the district, the district level as well as the school level to serve on that committee.
Okay, I need a motion to appoint Kyla McGuffey to serve on the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee.
I make a motion.
And Christine,
Second.
Jen, Bo, Gloria,
Yes,
Jen,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Christine. Yes. And I vote yes.
guys, please just don't let this committee, just don't form a committee and do something. Lots of times a committee gets formed and that's all that's ever done.
Madam Chair, before we ask for adjournment, I need to address some things, okay?
Okay, yes. Well, and wait a minute, Grant was supposed to.
Okay.
Explain.
I had a homework assignment.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll let Grant do his first thing.
Yeah, he was gonna talk to us about, public comment.
You asked me about the public comment policy. For years, until I guess a year and a half ago, we would get open meetings complaints all the time that something about public comment or boards wouldn't let people speak at meetings or things like that. And the General Assembly, well, the Attorney General's office kept saying, Open Meetings Act has nothing to do with public participation. It just requires public observation. So the General Assembly, instead of adding something to the Open Meetings Act so that every public agency has to allow public comment as part of their ongoing support of public education, they just imposed that requirement on school boards to allow public comment at every regular meeting. That's in KRS 160.270, and it just requires 15 minutes at every regular meeting. A lot of school boards like you all do have 2 regularly scheduled meetings every month, even though you call one a work session and one kind of your regular meeting. Both of them are regular because the distinction in the Open Meetings Act is just if it's already on the schedule that's adopted at the beginning of the year, it's a regular meeting. Everything else is a special meeting. Those are the only 2 categories that exist. There's emergency meetings, but that's just an emergency special meeting. So anyway, you all have the requirement, because you have 2 meetings a month pre-scheduled, to have public comment at both of those meetings of at least 15 minutes. I think you all put the 15 minutes at the work session at the end of the meeting. Maybe that was about a year ago. We discussed doing that in the hopes that when each item is presented, questions would be answered before people, anybody that signs up to speak may already hear the answer before public comment period. There have been several lawsuits, thankfully not against any of my clients, but there have been several lawsuits challenging kind of the scope of restrictions on public comment. And a lot of those just have to do with agencies that try to be too restrictive about not allowing anybody to even be critical of the Board of Education. That they're, some of the stuff you see on YouTube or on some viral videos of people turning public meetings into a circus. And some of that stuff is protected by the First Amendment. All I try to do as part of what I include as that statement that I read is I do my best to balance the First Amendment right of the citizen to speak, obviously, with the individual rights of students and staff members, because the Board of Education plays no role in staff discipline or staff supervision or staff evaluation other than for the superintendent. And they don't play any role in student discipline or the management of behavior at schools unless something comes to them as an expulsion hearing. So the board plays no decision-making role in those things. So from my point of view, that means board meetings are not the appropriate place for people to make comments directed at individual employees or individual students, because those individuals have no right of response. They shouldn't have to air their response publicly. There's private avenues for them to respond to individual grievances and complaints. So that's why that's included within the statement that I read before public comment period. Other than that, the board, I think in your own AP, you all restricted public comment to 2 minutes. Some boards just leave that to the discretion of the chair, but your all is written into the AP. Any other questions about any part of it?
What about what they can discuss? I mean, it's in our policy that is it limited to the agenda items? Or can they speak about anything?
Your all's policy gives discretion to the chair to decide whether to restrict comment to the items that are on the agenda. You all have a separate policy. Some boards enforce that pretty strictly. you all have a separate policy that would allow employees or citizens to ask that an item be added to the agenda ahead of time. And that becomes a more cumbersome process. So my view is just, we don't need to restrict people to just speak about an item on the agenda. If they want to use their 2 minutes to bring up something you all haven't thought of, that may be what prompts you to put it on next month's agenda. So that is written into your policy that you have, the chair has the discretion to restrict that or to rule on whether the topic applies to something on the agenda. I don't think that's a very meaningful restriction to try to impose. If you all had 20 or 30 people signing up to speak, then you may want to try to pare the list down to say, let's just focus on what's on tonight's agenda. But you all haven't had that problem.
Thank you.
Yours.
Thank you, Grant.
Okay, we would like to recognize some folks tonight. And our first individual will be Ms. Etta Meek. Etta has served as board member and then now as board chair. And I think she's been told by Mr. Tom Blankenship, and we don't have any way to confirm this, that she may be the first female chair, right? So we want to thank you for your service over these last 4 years. And so we have a token of our appreciation for your service. And that,
Actually, before you get to
Go ahead.
Gloria, it's actually be 4 years and 2 months.
okay,
Because
that's
I
right,
was
because you're
appointed in
appointed.
November of 2020.
You want to wait?
You want me to say something?
Well, I didn't know.
I do want to
You want
say
it at
something.
the end?
You want me to say it now? or-
It's your choice. You're the
Okay.
chair.
I'll just go there. Well, I was just thinking, coming in tonight, I was driving in about my life. And I thought, I've been in education my whole life. Because at age 4, I started school. And that was a long time ago, but it was in the state of Virginia. And my friend next door was age 5 and he went to school. So I cried and I wanted to go to school. So my mom sent me to school and they just let me stay. Okay, at age 12, I was thinking, I taught Sunday school to kids at church. And that's when I just really loved teaching. I just loved it. And then I graduated from high school at age 16. I started teaching at age 19 and taught for many years, subbed for many years, and then here I came on the board. So it has just been a journey, and I thank God for the journey. I jotted down just a few things, and I just wrote it as it just came to out of my heart, so I'm just going to read them quickly to you. It has been my pleasure to be a member of the Lincoln County Board of Education for the last 4 years. I've enjoyed serving, and I'm so proud of the accomplishments that we have made together. I want to express my sincere gratitude for the opportunity to serve our school communities and for being an advocate for our students. I will continue to support our students and the school district in any way I can. I think the future looks bright for Lincoln County, and I wish all of you the best.
Yeah, thank you for your service. And next we have Ms. Gloria Sneed. I think you 4 years, right? You. And so on behalf of everyone here with the district, we want to thank you for your years of service. And so we have this token of appreciation, and we'll give you a chance to say anything that you'd like to say.
Well, I know what you all want me to say. Whatever I say, you want me to say it quickly and shortly. Thank you. I think my biggest asset was all this I listened. You could, 2 o'clock in the morning, if you called and you was mad, if you were cussing me, I would say, I'm gonna hang up on you if you don't stop cussing me. And there's probably nothing that I can do about what you're mad about, but I'm gonna listen. And I've had a servant's heart. I never felt like I had a big stick nor showed that I had a big stick. And I was serious. Short is what you all want right now. I love all of you and I'm not going nowhere. I make a motion to adjourn.
Before we adjourn, I want to show this beautiful clock to you all. It's not gorgeous.
And there is a little tag in there. We wanted you to choose where you wanted to put that, either on the front or the back. So we did not stick it on there.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
Well, I live in an old home that was built in 1850, so I have many mantles in my home. So I can choose whatever room I please. Correct? Okay.
Sure.
Is there a motion to adjourn? Make a motion. Christine?
Gloria.
I made it.
Gloria made it. I second. Okay, Gloria made it, and then Christine. Vote Gloria?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Tyler?
Yes.
Christine? Yes. And I vote yes.